Well, we could just talk about what you see is what about what you aren't having or wanting, because it's it shouldn't be difficult to make this short, quick
Right
shift
on.
that allows you
Yeah.
to be
Well,
the leader that you are anytime, anywhere.
what I'm wanting is practicing looking at you. Thank you for looking at me. I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, really feeling ease in my own skin. I think, yeah, well, let me just stop it there, actually.
Tell you what, let's do something that I would do in the protocol of the wisdom circle and give you a minute in the mirror to talk to yourself, to greet yourself. And I'm going to mute you. So you're doing this in private.
Oh, oh. And
So
shall I do it
say,
into this or shall I? I haven't done, I mean,
all
I'm
right, well,
curious
the
about
good.
whatever you've developed with your
Okay.
mirror work.
This is the least demanding idea about be, just being with yourself. Say hello, Hope, and just have a check in with yourself. Whatever that
Okay.
means, you have no idea what it'll be, but stay steadily with yourself. I will mute you and I will tell you when your time, when you have 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Start, starting with a breath, and I don't hear you now, starting now. About 10 seconds left. Stay with yourself. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now, take another minute in the mirror, continuing the conversation, perhaps about what you're looking for. And this time I will listen, I will be witnessing you. So,
Okay.
a minute in the mirror with Hope.
Yeah. There is a nuggin is the word that came in. This is the gesture, like sort of showing the shape. There's a hardish something in my being, like sort of a state of being, and it is tense and it is afraid. It especially shows up in speaking or leadership, like when I'm stepping out. Um, like it's like, no, you shouldn't really say what you think, especially if it's definitive. Um, and there's a sense of not being comfortable in my own skin. Um,
Take a breath. Finish,
yeah.
finish out.
Okay. Thank, thank you.
Good, good. And bid adieu to an old
Thank,
friend, like to an old friend at the door. Thank you. Good.
yeah. Thank you.
Now, 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 understanding that you have the answers within, I want to give you 5 minutes. No, let's say 3 minutes. Starting in the mirror, talking about that part of you. What is that part of you that isn't comfortable as a leader in your own skin. Inquire, starting in the mirror, but then at some point, move to the screen and I'll give you my eyes. So you could go back and forth between the mirror and my eyes, whatever feels right. 3 minutes, or if it's really going well, we'll do it longer. Starting in the mirror, starting now.
So what is that thing? This thing, feeling. Yeah, it's like there's a frenzy, shy, wants to duck its head under. Yeah, it wants to break eye contact, duck its head like an ostrich. Nothing to see here. Feels really exposed, really vulnerable, and like it's going to be called out as like a poser, or I was really afraid of getting whacked for, get this, for being confident, for, yeah, something in me feels like it's kind of like in that domain of due diligence, where due diligence requires having doubt about whatever it is I'm saying or bringing or declaring. Something about declaring. Something in me insists on um, I'm just going to switch back to this other observer. Something in me insists on believing that I am like not credible. Something in me has this insists on the position that I'm not credible. And it jumps up like, and that for sure shows up if I'm in front of a group and speaking. It may show up any other time I'm in a leadership, unless I'm in a small enough group, it jumps up.
Finish up into my eyes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, now I'd like you to do another 3 minutes starting in the mirror, knowing that you know what to do about this. What is the answer? How do you get over this? How do you move to the other side of this? Notice what the answer is.
Okay.
Starting with a breath in the mirror and then moving to my eyes whenever you feel it.
Okay. All right. I'm aware of a lot of turbulence, like stoppy starty. Like there's turbulence between me and the answer. Yeah, there's turbulence here. So knowing me, it looks like I know. Um, feel something running down my back. Kind of like that, whatever that is in this moment, is like being something like exercised, metabolized, like going through a crucible of pressure. It's not heat. I don't understand it. Something in me wants to think it through, like have some narrative that's got continuity. There's a chill now going through my body. Oh, you're muted. I see your lips moving.
I'm muting the dogs in the background.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, finish up for now, unless there's more that's coming through that chill.
I think I'm gonna let that stop.
So what I'm hearing, it sounds like a pilot in a plane, and turbulence is part of the trip. It's part of the trip, and you're bringing it in for a landing. So whatever the turbulence is, you don't even necessarily have to know what it is, but how do you bring it in for a landing without judging that the turbulence is wrong? And bringing it in for a landing has to do, I think, with imagining speaking to the group one person at a time. That's how we land our words, one person at a time. It's never speaking to a group.
Right. It's that, yeah, because then I'm speaking to no one. And I am alone.
Yeah.
So this thing right now about maybe just like getting into the water, you expect it to be hard at first. And so you just learn how to navigate it. You expect it, you don't need to understand it. It's just there, it's predictable. So what I got while you were asking that was there's some kind of expanding in my back, kind of like a cobra spreading its hood, but not with all the negative connotations about that. There's something about going wide, expanding, and now I'm thinking connecting. So something comes in with a but, and it's like something anticipating, projecting. So I pick a person, any person, and I'm anticipating having a hard time actually connecting with them.
Oh, let me make that easy.
That's something me projects.
Okay, let me make it easy. You're not connecting with them. You're not trying to connect. The thing is to not try to connect, but to be available for connection. It's a much shorter step. To be available means
I'm here.
Take it or leave it.
So something in me gets scared as we imagine this moment. Oh man, and sometimes I just panic. I feel so separated. Oh, and there's something in me that goes like, now you have to be whatever, good, say your thing, and which means be different and not you. Like something that doesn't believe that just being me, it's just being you, as opposed to here I am.
Here
So
I am.
I can hear how what you
Here I
invited
am.
earlier is happening bit by bit. What
Yeah.
do I know about how to get through this?
And the practice you do in speaking circles, even on Zoom, to have the eyes with you like this and to stay with them. That's really good practice.
Goosebumps there. Oh, that's what it was. The thing you wrote about like eyes open, right? Like you can see it's it's been a thing for me to go away, like go
Yeah,
away
yeah,
or
yeah,
to,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
to like find myself with someone. That's new
Mhm.
and intriguing.
Mhm. Because it's being with somebody has come with a bunch of stuff about how to be when you're with somebody. Like I'm with them now, what do I do? Being with is just being with nothing else but
Yeah, something in me freaks out about that. It's good. This is
yeah,
good.
I
Like I can
know.
feel it go through me. It's like,
Ooh,
oh, right. Like
ooh.
something in me that's thought that I have to be something instead of understanding. No, it's just here. It's just what's here. I'm only offering what's here.
That's enough. You know what you know. What are you masterful at, Hope? What are you really masterful at professionally?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how the words want to come. Um, I make people feel safe. I give something that's what happens in them. Whatever that is, that's what happens over there.
Why do they feel safe with you?
Because I'm 100% certain that I'm with them.
Do you have something coming up, like a presentation or a conversation?
There's a couple things. So I'm speaking at my aunt's memorial service really briefly. I'm among many speakers next weekend. And so that I was like, wow, this is kind of cool timing. And honestly, Lee, I feel like whatever it is we're circling around here or aiming towards, it's like it's like my life missing piece. And maybe it's just the one of the moment, but it feels like a really significant, important one. And
Yeah.
like if I can drop down into really being in connection with myself, I think that's part of why your Mirror Alchemy series really, I'm like, ooh, there's something there.
Meanwhile, you've got the thing for your aunt, and how long are you going to be speaking?
Max, they want me to keep it to 3 to 5.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. And how do you feel about it? Are you excited? Are you anxious?
I'm no, I'm not freaked out, which is not what you asked. I am warm, like it feels important to me. Like there's stuff I want to convey about her. And like I just they're like you know how when you make a point, we all resonate in that point, or maybe like that's I want that. There's like several things I want to flag. Like when
Mhm.
she's like kind of you can't really tell, she seems to be asleep, and then she goes, Hopi, Norman Cousins. And what she's thinking about is laughter is the best medicine, right? Like message from Jean going forward, guys, laugh,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Like I
So,
want to
so
share some of those moments.
now, do you have a plan for how to start your talk?
I'm Jean's niece, and
Mhm.
um, there are a few things that I want to bring into this moment while we are celebrating and remembering
Mhm.
my Aunt Jean and going forward and who she was to all of us.
Mhm.
And
Let me give you an idea, because it's great we have this to play with, because you're going to doing the best you can to be with one person at a time, right? With your eyes, which is new for you, or you generally do that anyway.
no, that's new. I
Okay.
have generally like what I do with my eyes has really been a challenge
Oh,
in my
great. So
life. Like, because
this
I'll
is
like run away as much as I can.
and when is this happening?
The service is next Saturday.
Okay, this is so perfect because you're going to have a chance to do that as best you can. Don't be perfect. Don't think you have to be perfect. You forget, keep going back to one at a time. So here's my suggestion. You say I'm Jean's niece, and instead of saying generally, here's what I'm going to do, start immediately in a little story.
Okay.
I don't have a lot. I don't want to take a lot of time to say why this somehow works for them to
Just
enjoy
go
you
right.
and for you to have an easy place to start. So what's the little first story? Is it the Norman Cousins thing?
It is in this moment. Like,
Okay, so,
I think
okay,
I'd start with that one because that's who can't relate with that.
right.
Like that, everybody's happy when we start with that.
So what's the opening sentence? Okay, all I want you to do is memorize the opening sentence, knowing that the story will follow. There's something
Okay.
about getting up, and after saying I'm your niece,
Then there's like, ah, what's next?
right.
I was sitting with Aunt Jean. She seemed to be asleep.
When was this?
It was in March. In March, I was sitting with Aunt Jean in her room. She seemed to be asleep. And suddenly she opened her eyes. She looked and she said, Hopi, Norman Cousins. And I said, she said, look up. She said, Hopi, look up Norman Cousins. I'm like, okay. So I pull out my phone and I search and I find out that he's the person who I think won a Nobel Prize talking about laughter as medicine. And I don't know how much to connect the dots for people. One more sentence?
There's one more sentence to finish the story. Like that's her, you know.
Like that's right. Like that's one of the things I'm remembering going forward. Like carrying Aunt Jean forward is like laugh.
So do you see that story, what that does without having to have other foreplay? That boom, last March I was with her and she was asleep and blah blah blah. Boom. Now and then after that, you don't have to worry. You can say it whatever you want. You don't have to script the rest. It's almost like let that take you somewhere. This will be your first experience of a different way of speaking.
Yeah, I know. Look at the time. Oh, there we are.
I'm excited for this opportunity because once you can do that, once you are able to do that in a safe place where you could mess up and nobody, cares, then you can apply it to your professional life where when you present, you do have an opportunity to present in other situations.
There will be. I mean, I'm moving into, perhaps speaking in order to, just to get my message out.
Oh,
who am I? What am I doing in the world? Right.
If we do this again, I'd love to talk about your message, but go do this thing first, because that will give you a leg up on something. And whenever you want to have another half hour, just let me know. I love working with you.
Thank you, Lee.
And I'll send you the video of this.
Awesome. Thank you. Take great care.
You too.
Much love and friendship. Bye, Lee.
Bye, Hope.